So just how excited are you at the prospect of the World Cup in France?
Oh, absolutely excited. I mean, we've been preparing since January really, and it's very real now, a matter of weeks from going out and getting underway. We've done all the preparation. I think we just want the game now to start and put everything that we've done into practice really.
And it's special in particular for you, and you're now vice captain of the squad. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute honour to be given such a leadership role within the team. That there's so many natural leaders, and it sort of adds to sort of that honour and pride that you have as a player representing your country. But to be given a little bit more sort of responsibility is fantastic, and to work alongside Katie, who's an absolutely fantastic captain, and support her and the things she needs to get the team firing on all cylinders is an absolute privilege.
You've suffered defeat in the last 3 finals against New Zealand. Do you think there's is something in the players' minds when it comes to that final, sort of a mental block?
I think we've been asked that question quite a lot over the last few weeks in the build-up to the World Cup. But I think in the past, when we've got to the finals, that's the first time we've played them in the 4-year cycle, whereas since 2010 we've played them 9 times. The RFU done a fantastic job with the NZRU to get its game time against them, and we've won 5, drawn 1 and lost 3. So we're getting over that fear factor and that aura that surrounds the New Zealand team. So hopefully we're in a really good place, but there's a lot of preparations before we even think about the final. We've got a really tough pool to get out of against Samoa, Spain and Canada. That's at the forefront of our mind, and that's got to be our priority before we start thinking about semis and finals.
You say about the toughness of the pool. Who else do you think is going to be your main competitors for the title? Do you think it'll be New Zealand again, or is there someone else that you think might be a bit of a dark horse?
I think this year's World Cup will be the most competitive Women's World Cup there's ever been. Just the significant growth and competitiveness within the women's game, and New Zealand are always going to be up there. They're the current world champions. We've got Canada, who in the last sort of 4 years have probably made the biggest leap in how far they've come in a performance, and we have them in our pool. France can never be underestimated on home soil. They're Six Nations champions. Then you look at Ireland, who are very competitive, Australia, USA. There's probably, and that's just to mention a few, there's a real strong contingent of teams that will put up a real fight for that World Cup.
So, with less than a month to go, are you confident that sort of everything's in place for a successful campaign for England?
Absolutely. I mean, we've worked really hard, like I said, since January with the World Cup preparations, but that's not to say what we've been doing since the last World Cup, when obviously we lost that final. Everything on a year-by-year, season-by-season basis has been gearing up for the 1st of August when we get our first game, and in the last few weeks we've really started to nail down our preparations, and the squad's in a really good place, both physically, mentally and tactically, and the environment that we've created, the cohesion, the culture between staff and players is fantastic, and we've ultimately now got to go out there and just perform. We've had everything, we've been given the best opportunity to put us in that place, and now it's the players' turn to go and deliver and hopefully get us to that World Cup and lift that trophy in the end of August.